Today we're going to have a look at Visualizer, P6 Visualizer. So we fire it up, it's a separate program, and we put in our credentials. And Visualizer fires up. Now you get a blank screen essentially, so you have to go to the very top to these little icons. There's a plus icon, a question mark, and more. More will give you manage and exit, so you get out of it. The plus sign gives you timescale logic diagrams, Gantt charts, or a schedule comparison. We're going to do the Gantt chart. Create or open, so you have to go into your enterprise project structure. It's the same as the P6 database. Choose the project that you want to embellish. Select, then go next. We want to create a new Gantt chart diagram, so you have to name it. And draw. And with the default options on, this is what you would get. So no logic lines, sort order is wrong, critical activities are shown as green with a red stripe, non-criticals full green. Milestones partially hidden because we have no margins. So the default setup is no good for us. We have to go into options, and start to tweak the system. So you get quite a complicated looking setup. So we can tweak chart and grid, timescale, bars and labels, etc. And within each of these groups there's quite a bit of tweaking that can be done. At any point when we've done a bit of tweaking, you can go to the top right, save and draw, and that will show you the results of your tweaking. So chart and grid. At the moment it's showing us that activity ID, activity name, start date, finish date will be the displayed items. Maximum number of lines 2, maximum label width at 100. Okay, we'll go with that. Row, using alternate colors to highlight the fact that there are rows. Header, we can tweak the header if we want to. We'll stick with the defaults. On to timescale. We've got project start, project finish, font styles, and the background rows. We noticed that the milestones were hard up against the margins, so we can improve on that by saying the start should be with margins of, let's say, -7, and the finish milestone we can have a margin of +7. So you can see the dates have changed there. Font's okay, and the other things are okay. Bars and labels. So in the middle you get an indication, a preview if you like, of what's going to be shown in the ultimate Gantt chart. You've got two options in the center. You've got a bars view, which we're seeing now, or you can have a labels view where you can decide where you want the labels to be positioned around your bars. We'll stick with bars view at the moment. And then the available bars, you can decide which particular type of bars you want to display in the Gantt chart. So actual work, remaining work, critical remaining work are fairly typical. You'd want to see those. Milestones, yep, we want to see those. Summary bars, yep. And global labels. So that's fine. If we wanted to add more, we could hit the plus symbol, and that would add a new bar. And then we would title it, or we can get rid of it. Boom. Are you sure? Yep. New bar gone. And you can reposition them as well. So actual work is going to be blue. That's fine. Remaining work is going to be green. critical remaining is going to be skinny red bar. Now the preview shows you the skinny bar is superimposed on a green bar. So we want it all red, basically. We don't want to see any green on it. So we would go to the shape option over on the right, and we would increase the height here. So default is 5. We would boost it up. Notice that the preview is showing you the increase in size until at 14 we've completely obliterated the green, and that's looking good. Round edges, do we want that? That's the default, or we can get rid of them. We're happy with round. Milestones are going to be the black diamond and the black envelope. Summary, kind of skinny, so we'll boost that one's size a bit to about there. And then global labels. So at the minute we've got the labels above and below the bar. We look at the labels view, see the matrix. So the bar's essentially in the middle, 7, 8, 9, and then we've got positions around the bar, 1 through 15. So activity ID is at the moment in position 2. If we don't like that, we can come over here to the top right. You can see that activity ID is highlighted. We can say no thank you, cross, and that position has gone. Let's try and put it in the middle of the bar, so that would be position 8. So we position the cursor in 8 and click, and then come to the top right, hit the plus symbol, and activity ID just happens to be the first option. If you get the drop down, you can see all the other options sitting in there. A lot of options. So activity ID is going to be positioned there, and you get a little preview down below showing you activity ID dark on a sort of darkish background. So we might want to tweak the font a bit there. So we come over to the font option. It's Arial size 10. We might just boost that a little bit, 12, and then the color. Most of our bars are going to be darkish, so probably need a lighter. Let's try putting white on the bar. The preview doesn't actually show us it white on the bar, but in the matrix it shows us white. So we're going in the right direction. And then activity name appearing below. Bars view. Label. We might want to reposition that to the right. So delete it from its current position, go to position 10, click, add again, activity name we're after, so we get the drop down, choose activity name, and it's gone into position 10. And the preview is now showing us white on the dark background, which is fine. Okay, that's looking okay. And we'll go on to the next grouping, which is lines. Show relationship lines. So we do want to see the relationship lines between the activities. All relationships, you can tweak all these good things. And rounded edges, connections. Yep, that's alright. Data date, vertical blue line, blue, 2 points thickness. That's fine. Activity grouping. That's fine. Group and sort. We don't need to group anything. Sorting. We do need to sort by activity ID ascending. Would be a good idea. Let's just draw at this point, make sure that that is correct. Yep. Sorting, activity ID ascending. So we get the classic staircase, top left to bottom right. Okay, that's looking quite reasonable. Go back to options. So we were on the group and sort. And one sort is enough. So onto filters. Show all activities. So we don't want to see any subsets at the moment. We want everything. So all filters are off at the moment when we're seeing all activities. Page setup. So at the moment it'll be printing to an E-sheet, 44 inches wide by 34 inches high, and you've got lots of different options there for deciding what you want to see. Let's go for A3, 16 by 11. No scaling, margins, 1 inch, that's probably a bit much, maybe half an inch. Landscape, A3, title block. So at the moment we're having current date, project name, and the Oracle thing. So all these things can be tweaked. And the footer, bar legend, line legend, layout name, page number, filter list. That's fine. Spacing, 20, might boost that to 25. Okay, that's everything done. Let's save it and draw it. And there it is. So activity ID and name, start and finish date, and then our series of activities with the ID in the middle and the name to the right. We might want to increase the size of the name to correspond to the activity ID size. So we go back to options and do that. But that is essentially how you do the business. So once you're happy with that, you would print it, and Bob's your auntie. To get out of it, we might, if we wanted to save, we'd save as something, and then you can go to the More drop down and exit.